Alright guys, what's going on? Needs More Drums back in Grand Keys, our City Skylines 2 vanilla series. And let's go ahead and get a couple things out of the way right from the start. So first, Happy New Year, it's 2025. Thank you all for the support over the past year. The channel grew tremendously. We're over 1,000 subscribers and I really appreciate it. And wishing you all the best in the new year as well. And also, second thing, Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate around this time. I celebrate Christmas, so I say Merry Christmas, but hope you guys had a great holiday season. And again, just, hope you have a great new year as well. Third, we have a few things to get done today. Maybe not the biggest projects, but some important ones that are really going to pave the way for the future development of the city. And in addition to that, before we dive in, I want to mention I put a poll out with some name suggestions for the city. I know that the region is Grand Keys, but the city actually still needs a name. And, some other districts as well are going to get some names, as well. So like this whole area is kind of going to be one city. But, honestly, like this whole part of the map here is going to be one city. And, there will be different names though for different like local neighborhoods and things like that. But I thought of a few suggestions, so I'll put it in a poll for you guys to vote. So go ahead and check that out. Go vote. And if you have something too that you want to offer in terms of a name for a city or neighborhood, please feel free to comment that as well, either on this video or on that post. And I'll be happy to look at it and, take it into consideration. I'm going for a little bit in the theme of my City Skylines 1 series and my first City Skylines 2 series. And actually, well, I guess my first City Skylines 1 series as well. I've tried to go like a little bit music themed with the name of my cities. Keeping with the name of the channel, I am a drummer. I love music, so anything like that is a welcome suggestion. So I appreciate you guys, voting and contributing to the future of the city. So I want to get your guys' input. But yeah, so in terms of the project for today, the first thing I want to do is actually get rid of a couple things, and we're going to redevelop some things. So somebody pointed out in a comment on a recent video that this industry area is actually feeding pollution right into the city. And I think it is. Yeah, so you're totally right. It's going straight into this, like kind of what'll be the downtown. And although right now it's a small industry area, so I'm not super concerned, but we're going to get ahead of this. We're going to try to move this now and use this for something a little bit better. And where I'm going to move this industry, I actually want to put it here where this landfill is. So in the last episode, we built this recycling center that can handle all of the processing capacity and garbage production that we need right now. So if you look at our garbage production, we're only producing 518 tons a month, and we can produce up to 1,500 tons a month with the recycling center. So no need for this landfill anymore. And instead of, converting this to some like residential area or something, I've actually decided to make this into an industrial area as well. And that works out nicely because the pollution will kind of go straight over this forestry area and kind of out of the city. So it won't really be an issue. And I'm going to keep it a little bit, maybe a little bit more sparse, kind of more of a modern industrial park. Since this is, a redevelopment, I want to make this into kind of an industrial / office park, maybe even throw a little shopping center over here or something like that. So it's not going to be a complete eyesore, but will help provide some jobs to this area and, keep the economy growing. And then another thing that I want to do is actually get rid of this neighborhood. And by get rid of, I mean just kind of reformat how this looks. I wanted to try out these new UK houses, and in this context, I think they look a little bit weird. They're a little bit too condensed. A lot of them just look the same, and so I kind of don't like how this turned out. I actually have been experimenting off camera in another city that I'm just kind of building for fun, and I noticed that the North American waterfront houses actually look really nice. So I might add some of those here, and it gives a really nice like American suburban look that I'm kind of going for. So I think I might change this around and add those here instead, and maybe even expand out the neighborhood kind of into these couple of tiles. We might actually purchase some tiles today if time allows. So really looking forward to that, getting some expansion on the way. And then the final thing that I want to do today, as we build this industrial park, I want to make room for a bus terminal and start kind of some preliminary bus routes in the city. So I'm thinking, just very basic, kind of connecting some major points like we have, the downtown here. Eventually we're going to have a big transport center over here. So I'm not going to go too crazy in terms of like, you know, adding in a big bus terminal and everything like that. I might add a little one kind of in this area, and then that'll be temporary. So in the future, we'll move it once we, you know, develop like a train station and everything here. That's going to be, you know, a big future project down the line. But yeah, for now, we'll add something temporary kind of over here in terms of like an inner city bus station. Get some of these homeless people out of the city if they need a way out of the city. You can see we have some issues with that, and I wonder what that's going to do, you know, for our demand and things. It's one thing, you know, the homeless bug has been solved, but you still need a way for homeless people to get out of the city, and right now we don't have anything other than taxis to get people out. So we have to have some kind of free public transit option. So I'm thinking about running like a bus network or two just to connect to our neighboring cities, kind of, you know, out here or wherever, and that way we can bring some people, you know, in and out of the city a little bit better. So yeah, we'll connect some networks kind of around here, probably follow this main road, and, you know, focus on some of these built up areas, you know, with some higher density, the industrial areas, you know, areas with a lot of workforce, and just we'll add, you know, maybe like 2 or 3 lines, nothing crazy, but just enough to get the city connected a little bit and give some people some public transit to, you know, improve the levels of some of these buildings. But yeah, with that being said, oh, also a final thing, I did turn on autosave for this build, so we're gonna see how it works. If it's annoying or if it kind of interrupts me, I might turn it off. But somebody left a comment that said autosave is your friend after the game crashed, after I built all these, you know, highway interchanges in the last episode. So I'm gonna try it. Usually I don't use autosave. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys prefer autosave or not. I just don't like to use it because it kind of freezes the game and then it gets me freaked out like it's gonna crash. But I guess I have it set to every 30 minutes, which might be a little bit much, you know, a little bit too sparse, but we'll see. I think it'll be fine, and we'll save manually as well throughout the build. So hopefully we shouldn't run into any issues with losing our progress this time around. But yeah, now let's go ahead and jump into our first project. All right, so the first project today is we're going to get rid of this this landfill here and make way for the new industrial park. And the fun part about this game is that you can actually just straight up delete landfills, as opposed to Cities Skylines 1, you had to empty the building first. And I'm currently emptying this building, but it's taking forever because it only sends 1 dump truck out at a time for some reason. And each truck holds 20 tons. So we had, you know, 1,000 tons. So it's just going to take forever to empty this. So we're just going to do this, and I don't really care. Am I sure? Yes, I'm very sure. There we go. Easy as that, right? Totally cheating, but we're going to deal with it anyway. And yeah, so now that we have that done, we can kind of level out some of this terrain. I think that might actually be pretty useful in this context, just to maybe not level out, but just kind of soften some of this up around here. So we'll just kind of increase this brush size, kind of mess with this a little bit here, and kind of even some of this out. And actually, I am going to level out some of the terrain, maybe like going out kind of this way, just because this is an industrial, going to be some, you know, big industrial park, and it might be a little bit beneficial to actually have the terrain a bit more leveled out. So let's just go ahead and lay out a little bit of a road network. And just for reference though, before I start this, I want to make note of this bus depot. And so it doesn't look like this is going to take up a ton of space. I know that you can expand this with an extra garage, so I'm going to leave some space for that. But what I might do is kind of put this like over here and then leave space kind of in the back for the expansion. So we'll, you know, we can run like this road through here, kind of make a L or T it out right here. And then we can have some industry or like some offices and some commercial here, and then move the industry over on this side. So actually let's do that right now. Let's just go ahead and establish where this is going to go. So we're going to turn off our certain guidelines just so we get some good angles and some good grid layouts. We'll drag this road, just drag it right to about there. And this road I'm actually going to have just kind of come all the way around here, and it's going to feed into kind of whatever is almost going to serve as like a frontage road for us. And we'll feed into the future highway on-ramp that's going to go, you know, over here somewhere, where this avenue is going to go. Which I'm actually going to go ahead and build this out now, since we have the landfill is no longer an issue. We'll just drag this straight out this way and probably get rid of this connection and this connection. We don't need those. And now we'll just go ahead and lay out some basic road networks let me just jump into a little bit of a time lapse, get some of these laid out, and then we'll reconvene once I got some of this done. All right, so I know it's not the prettiest, but I think it will work just fine. We'll throw some of the industry kind of back here, and then we'll throw some offices like in these corners here, and probably some commercial right here, create a little bit of a shopping center. And then this can be maybe some offices as well, kind of along this main road here. And I'm thinking about, I'm curious if I actually want to zone along this road at the moment, because I envision that we might turn this into a kind of more of a highway at some point. So I think what I might do is actually get rid of zoning the old-fashioned way here along just this road here. I'll probably zone, along the other one there, but this one right now I don't really want zoning on that road. So I'm just going to drag out this pathway like that for now. And then we can limit our zoning to this like industrial area over here. And even make this maybe into some kind of fancy little park with an office here in the corner, something like that. And of course, this road doesn't want to comply with us. We'll figure this out somehow. We'll do something with it. But anyway, yeah, I think this is a good start. So now that we have this zoned out, let's go ahead and, well, not zoned out, we have it laid out. So let's actually go ahead and do a little bit of zoning. All right, and so we're letting this industry kind of shift over here for right now, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this area just yet. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave them down below. I'm thinking that this might not be a terrible spot for some kind of hospital. As you can see, the ground's a little bit, still a little bit polluted right now from the industry, so we'll see if that dissipates over time. And if it does, then great. Then maybe we could put, like a hospital over here, or even make this into like some kind of office park in the future or something. But for now, we're just going to leave it. We'll come back to that at a later time once the pollution kind of goes away. But yeah, this is, it's a little bit rough for now, but we're going to add in some, we'll spend a minute at the end kind of detailing this up, adding in some little pathways, some trees and things like that to make this area a little bit nicer. And what is this here? Is this a little gas station? Oh, perfect. That's a nice little corner gas station. Can't complain there. Kind of exactly what we need. And I guess here's another one. Oh, well. Yeah, some of these buildings I didn't really want. See, like I didn't want these because they have the parking with them. I forget which ones don't typically have parking. I feel like it's some of the, whatever these are over here. How big are these? Kind of the five deep. How big are these over here? These are 6 deep. Okay, you know, we're gonna do a little bit of a redo on some of these here. I think we'll de-zone these couple of buildings. I don't really want the parking. Let me see if they'll zone if I just do them like off of this road here. We'll try that and see if some of these work a little bit better. That would be nice if that's the case. But anyway, so great. Now that we have that done, let's go ahead and add in the bus infrastructure here. So we're gonna just add in a simple bus station, or I guess not station, depot rather. And we'll throw it kind of like right over here somewhere. And I'm gonna set it off a little off of this road just a little bit, so we'll have like a specific entryway here for it. I'll actually, you know what I'll do is I'll do it kind of like this, so that we can have some parking here potentially for employees. I think there's a couple of parking spots that should be able to fit in here. Maybe this, not the single row, not the medium. Where's that long one? Yeah, maybe we could do something like this here if we need to. Have like a long parking lot right here. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. Put the long parking lot. Then we will move this kind of back one. Connect this up here to the parking lot, kind of like that. And we can even maybe fit another one here too if we need to. So that's good. All right, great. So we got that there. Now let's go ahead and place down the actual bus depot. Yes, I know it's a little bit expensive. That's okay, because we have the money for sure. So, all right, now we got to bring this over there to connect it. And then see, we can do the garage extension. We can just put it right off of the back here. So that would be, yeah, that would be excellent. And here we can even fit another little building if we need to. So we'll leave that as a little vacant spot here. And I think we can actually bring this road there like that. We can put something here, like a little shop or a little office or something. We'll see what the demand requires a little bit later on. But yeah, and this parking lot was a good call, because you can see there is no 40 employees and no place for them to park at all. So that'll be really, really good to have that amenity here for the bus terminal. But yeah, I'm liking where that's at. I think that's a good use of this space. You know, a little bit more industrial. It's kind of out of the way of polluting the city, and now we can get some critical city infrastructure going here. So before we load our bus networks, though, we'll wait kind of till the end to do that. I think for now I want to go ahead and redo this neighborhood, and then we'll might actually go ahead and purchase a couple of tiles. We have 330,000. We have 368 that we're making. Yeah, I think we can get away with that, to be honest. Let me just look. So this is going to cost us 76,000, 32,000 upkeep, no problem. This one is going to be 112,000, 46,000 upkeep. So all in all, we're in 200 grand. Yeah, you know what? We do need to start expanding out this way. So I'm just going to purchase these right now. And one thing that I've been trying to do a little bit better in this series is kind of keep track of the what's called the Jeffersonian grid. So City Planner Plays does this a lot, and I really like it because it's very, key to how American cities are designed. So if you look at an overhead map, of like any place in the United States, everything is kind of divided into these big squares. And especially when you get out into rural areas, there's a lot of county roads, and everything just forms like a very, very nice grid. And obviously the terrain, plays a part, and, it's not completely perfect, but it definitely shapes kind of how land is divided between cities and counties and everything like that. So I've been trying to do something kind of similar here. You can see that I dragged this road kind of through here, and this will be one of the of kind of the county roads, that would go through here like that. And obviously we'll probably upgrade. Actually, you know what? We'll do this right now. We'll just go ahead and upgrade this right off the bat, because I know that's going to be a much more important road for us. But this is where that old tile was. And, we can see, I know this one's a little bit off. I kind of regret where I put this Thornton Street. This really should be kind of like a county road, but we'll just drag it straight through and kind of, snake it along this hillside here to kind of form, where a main road might go, right? So that's kind of the whole point to this. It's just thinking about where these roads would have led in the past and kind of how we're going to, mimic this in the future and just develop around these kind of pre-installed areas here. So I just want to be able to find where there's where the grid is there. So you can see the other tile here in the corner. If I do that, that's where I want this to go. So I'm just going to kind of guide this around this little hill here, and we'll just kind of link it up like that for now. So that way this can kind of serve as a main road. We'll kind of put it through here, have another kind of grid-like pattern going. And yeah, so we'll see how that goes in the future. But I kind of like that theory of, laying out the roads according to kind of the expansion tiles. I think it lends to a very natural development of your city, and I like that a lot. So yeah, so now we have this neighborhood. I'm just going to go ahead and just dezone it. I don't like it. I don't like doing this stuff, but, still kind of learning the game, and I guess it's not the end of the world. So we're still pretty early in the city. I know we have like 14,000 people, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? So not only are we going to dezone this, we're actually going to change the grid a little bit. I kind of would rather have, I really like the way that the 4 deep North American waterfront houses look. And so I'm going to delete this grid and just expand out the, just make the grid sizes a little bit bigger. All right, so I'm kind of happy with this layout. A little bit kind of a different type of grid going on here. We're following this nice hillside. And since this is going to be more of kind of a suburban area, I think that will work really, really nicely for us. But yeah, what we're going to do now is zone this out a little bit. As you can see, the height difference is a little bit more substantial than I thought. So hopefully this will look all right. I'm not too concerned though. It doesn't seem to be incredibly steep, but yeah, it'll offer some nice variety in terms of the terrain. So I'll leave this space along the main road for some commercial and maybe some medium density like row housing and such. I anticipate that this, will be that this intersection here might be a little bit busy, a little bit more of a somewhat dense area. So we'll, upgrade that accordingly. But for now, let's just go ahead and zone out this low density, and you'll see what I mean by the way that these buildings look. I'm really happy with how they kind of, fit in with what I'm going for here. So let's go ahead and zone some of this out. All right, and yeah, you can see kind of as these are developing, you can kind of see what I mean here. These nice little single level, ranch style homes. Typically, these are ones that I tend to see a lot in, like a small North American suburb, especially close to a city, like these small lots, small homes, just, a little bit older, a little bit more, kind of prefab style. So I'm really liking these, and there's a nice kind of variety in some of the lots too. I mean, I know they kind of all like these three are literally the same, but I guess so are these. But you can see we got like some solar panels on the roof. We have some nice little different bushes and stuff in the front. It's enough variety for me, even with just the colors of the roofs. It's a nice variety for me, and I can live with this kind of neighborhood. So I'm liking that, and I'm definitely going to zone this out more in this whole area. But yeah, you can see kind of I laid this road kind of out here. Imagining that this will be some kind of, you know, road that just runs next to the track. We'll probably have either some small industrial businesses along this road or some houses kind of just off of this road, like maybe run some dirt roads kind of into these woods. This will be a really, really nice scenic drive. I may even upgrade this to a 2-lane highway in the future, but we'll save that for a little bit later, because I think we're going to have a pretty major 2-lane kind of county road that's going to run, you know, along this area here on this side of the track, since there's a little bit more room. But yeah, so I am liking this for now. So I think we're gonna leave this neighborhood. Added a couple of parks too. You know, we have a large playground here and a little bit of a dog park, and even a little apartment building here, just to create some density. And we'll add some more apartments, kind of low, some row housing along here, like I said. So we'll do that a little bit later. But for now, let's jump back over here. We're just going to detail this up just a little bit, add in some pathways, add in some trees, kind of make this area a little bit nicer. And then finally, we will add our bus networks and wrap it up for the day. So let's go ahead and get detailing before we do that. And yeah, pretty close to the end here. So stay tuned. Yeah, and so I think that looks a lot better. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I know this batch of trees is maybe a little bit much, but I tried to mimic the same type of trees that are in this dense forested area. You know, we imagine that this is kind of an older industrial area. Well, even though we just deleted the landfill to build it, but eventually I think these are the types of trees that we want to go for. So, you know, just might as well just put them down now, make it look a little bit more cohesive. But yeah, I think that turned out pretty nice. And from, you know, this view, that curve is a little bit strange, but I think once we, you know, connect this to the highway, it'll make a little bit more sense. And I mean, so far, like, I can't complain. Plus, once these offices develop and fill in these little vacant spaces, I think it'll look a lot better as well. So all in due time, no worries there. But yeah, you can see now our neighborhood is pretty much fully developed. Looks a lot better. This is exactly the apartment building that I wanted here. Love that we got that one. I'm just going to go ahead and do a small little detail here. Kind of drag this through if it's going to let me, or just do that. That's fine. Good enough. And now we'll just add in a couple of trees and bushes here. Very nice. Beautiful little residential community. Really loving this. And yeah, we'll develop this a little bit more. throughout future episodes, we'll come back to this area and kind of build this up a little bit. But for now, I'm really, really happy with that. I think that turned out quite nicely. And then, yeah, this part here, we'll kind of do the same thing over here with these neighborhoods. This whole area is just a little bit kind of a work in progress, just given how the train track's going to cut through here, and I don't know exactly what I want to put here yet. You know, if we want to save this for any kind of city service or, you know, a higher density development, I kind of doubt it. It might just be some homes and everything too here, but again, we'll save that for a later time. But yeah, as promised, before we end the episode, let's go ahead and just lay out a couple of our bus routes, and then we'll finish this up. So I gotta admit, I've never actually done bus routes in City Skylines 2, so we're just gonna experiment here and kind of see what happens. So I think we're gonna get rid of not do the shelters just yet, because I think that'll be, you know, which ones get the most use. Then we'll add a shelter, but for now we'll just do kind of the stop signs. And in terms of a bus station, I don't want to do a big bus station. I want to do something small though, so we can have some proper intercity lines. And I'm thinking I might put it, I'm kind of thinking around this downtown area here, only because we're gonna have to put one over here anyway. And so I imagine that this will be a good spot to start. And then, you know, when we put a new one down, like maybe on this side of the track, and we build out this area a little bit, it'll be seen as kind of like an improvement project, right? And then we can turn this into like a little park or something like that. So I think I'm gonna put it like, we could do it here, to be honest, but I kind of want to put it a little bit off the beaten path so the buses don't have to come right onto this road. Maybe we'll do, let's just see if I can do something kind of like this. So how big is this? It's like, that's, wow, we're not gonna have enough room. Dang. Well, there goes my plan. I was gonna try to put it like, you know, maybe I could actually shove it kind of like in here. Let me just try something here. Let's see if we go like, and I know this is not the way that I want, so we're gonna reverse that. But if I put this like, is it not gonna let me? Does it actually need a road connection? If so, then that's really, really strange. Yeah, it almost looks like it's not gonna let me put it on the bus road. That's weird. That's weird. Well, so much for that idea. I guess maybe we could put it in a little alleyway. That might do the trick. Yeah, and it's just a little bit too big, and it's gonna demolish that building, which I really don't want. Yeah, I think for now we're just gonna, you know what, we're just gonna throw it right on the main road. I know this might not be the best idea, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, right? So yeah, we'll just put it like right here. I think this will be fine. And yeah, that was 100 grand down the drain. No big deal. So yeah, so we'll leave this here for now. And I think we'll have a couple of lines. So this can have how many lines? I think this can have three lines, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, bus platforms 3. Okay, and we can have a taxi stand. We can add some services as well. Oh, that's actually quite nice. Platforms, taxi stop. Oh, we don't have a taxi depot. Okay, that's fine. Well, anyway, all right, let's go ahead and make some bus lines now. So the first line that I want to make is just a intercity line to, let's see, where are we going here? So we can go all the way. Oh man, we have quite a ways to go. We can go to Doherty or Westvale or Demarest. I think this one's closest, so we'll just go here. You know what? We'll actually do one more out to this one here. And let's go ahead and see. I want to see if we can get away with the least number of vehicles. So 9 out of 18. Don't want 18 vehicles on that line. I want like 5. Actually, maybe like 4 if we can. Yeah, I like that. This can have 6. See, we're already at 10. And I'm pretty sure the bus depot only has 25. Okay, so we have 15 to go between the other two. That's not bad. I just wanted to make sure. In this one, we're actually going to make it free so that people can get out of our city, like our homeless people. Yeah, we'll see if that actually works, if people are actually going to go to this or not. And so I try to put it in a convenient location to where people can actually get here, but we shall see. So let's just change the colors real quick. All right, that should work for now. Next step is to make some lines within the city. So for this, we're gonna do City Skylines never did a great job as kind of like a point to, as making like point-to-point bus lines. They always did like, these really, they always wanted loops. And in real life, bus lines are more of a point-to-point. So we want to think about origins and destinations, right? Like where are people going and where are they coming from? So I think we're gonna have one line that kind of goes straight, starts at the bus terminal, and then kind of goes around all the way through to this part here. And we might have a couple of transfer stops kind of along the way, some shared stops. But yeah, so this one, let's add a couple of bus stops. So we'll go, I forget the rule of thumb with buses. I think 4 to 6 blocks is kind of a good indicator of where we should be. So kind of by some of these main roads here, I think it's a good idea. So we'll have like, we'll start here. We'll maybe have one, and I think I want to keep it on this side of the stoplight so that the bus doesn't stop like in traffic. You know what I mean? That we can kind of peel off to the side, and then yeah. So we'll do one here. We'll do another one up here by the post office. And I'm curious to how this is going to work with this angled parking road. Let's just do it and see. I might want to get rid of that. Yeah, of course it gets rid of parking on that entire street. So we'll have to fix that a little bit later. But I guess that's fine for now. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll have the bus bypass the roundabout. So let's get rid of that. We'll add the parking back in. Oh, that's a pedestrian. You know what? That's a pedestrian road. I can add a stop on it. Let's do that. We'll get the bus off of the main road, not contribute to traffic. We'll throw this on the pedestrian road. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, cool. So we'll have that go there. And then we'll bring one over by probably, there's a lot of homes over here, and they can kind of, yeah, I can walk to that one. So let's actually just do one. There's a few blocks. We'll do one here by the school. And then we'll have another one by these apartments here. One more by the police station over here. And then I think for this line, I'm gonna want to loop it around. I'm thinking I might actually take it all the way to the do I go through the industry with this one? I might. Actually, the power plant is a good place to put a bus stop because that's going to be a pretty big employer. So we'll throw one over here, and then we'll throw one over here, and finally we will stop at the recycling center. And then I do want this to have, like both sides kind of being serviced. So I'm actually going to go and drag this around the same way that we came and just put the stops kind of on the opposite side of the road. All right, so that's kind of where the first line is going to go. I also want to think about where some of these other inner kind of lines within the city are going to go. So I want another one that's going to kind of come through and connect up to this industry area and office park. I think this is going to be a pretty populated area. So we'll have this line kind of come up through here. Maybe we'll stop at, we'll just do one stop kind of by this office park, maybe right at the bottom of this hill. We'll do another one on this side. And then I'm thinking that this one for now might go kind of to this apartment complex, and then sort of that'll be kind of the end of this route, and we can have it kind of loop back along this main road here. So I'm just going to do something like that for now. And I know this one's kind of weird, but then we'll have this one kind of come through. And you know what? I actually think this one will share these stops with this, and then this one I'm actually going to have go through to this neighborhood over here, because I want this neighborhood to have some public transit access. It's a little bit more dense. I think it makes sense to have it come through here. Plus we have the healthcare, the medical clinic through here as well. So this one I'm actually gonna, instead of sharing these stops here, I'm actually gonna have it come along this road here, and we'll make it right by this medical center, and then we'll do a stop in here. So let's just put one maybe kind of go like here and here. And then we will go across the road. And big town, nice. We'll save that. Oh, we got some signature buildings, but we'll save that for a later date. Not too concerned about that right now. So, you know, these are kind of close, but you know what? I think it's fine. We have all these people can walk all along this neighborhood to get there. Not the worst thing. Yeah, so that'll be that route. And then I think the last route that I'm going to do is nothing, honestly. I think that's fine for now. We have some good destinations here. We have some of this industry connected. I may in the future put one kind of like, you know, along this main road that'll connect this, and then we can connect this industry up as well. But we'll wait until this gets a little bit more built up to be able to add that line. So now let's see if this is actually going to work by adding in some of these bus lines. So for this one, we'll start here at the small bus station. We'll just go along here. All right, so that one's connected up. Perfect. And we'll name these at the end here. And so that is good there. And then so for this one, we'll have a new line. We'll start here. Actually, no, we won't. We'll start. Actually, yes, we will. No, we won't. Start here. Then we'll go. Yeah, we'll do this. I'm going to add a stop here first. Actually, no, I'm not. That's going to be fine. Let's start again. And there we go. I'm liking that so far. You have some nice interconnectivity, I guess is the good word for that, between, you know, our main stop and some of these lines, and then we have some shared stops along this main road here, and we can try to alleviate some of that traffic there. But yeah, first public transit lines in the game, in the city. Really excited about that. So let's go and just name some of these lines real quick, if I remember how to actually do that. Just got to go, I think, here, go to lines. There we go. So bus line 1. Oh, I got to check my vehicles too. I don't want to have too many. Let's go to bus line 1, which is that one. So this is to, what is it, to Westvale, I think? Yeah, so this is, we'll just call this Westvale. Easy enough. Bus line 2, and there's you. Doughs and pizza dough. Great. And then this one, we'll call it, we'll just call this 1. This will be downtown. Downtown and industry. Then we'll call this one 2. And this will be whatever neighborhood this is. We'll just call this, the West Office Park East for now. I don't know, whatever we decide to name this neighborhood. We'll come back to that. And for the colors, sometimes I like to keep all of my buses the same color, but for now, I don't know. We might do... Yeah, we'll keep them all the same color. We'll go red. I like red. All right, and now the last thing that I want to do is just adjust the number of buses on these lines. So these are going to have very few This one, we'll go try to do 4 vehicles on this one for now. I think that's a fair number, actually. And then on this one, we'll also just start with 4. Actually, this one's quite long. Maybe we'll do 5. There's a formula that I learned about how to actually calculate how many buses you need, but we'll come back to that a little bit later. All we know now is that 22 out of 25 of our buses are in use, so we might actually be able to go a little bit less on the buses, but hey, all in due time, right? But yeah, I think we're gonna leave it there for today. I'm really, really happy with what we've done. I'm really starting to enjoy this game, and the city is coming along quite nicely. So next episode, I think the plan is gonna be to really expand out this area and kind of build up some of these neighborhoods. I have an idea of what I want to do over here, so it may require us to purchase another tile. We're still making tons of money, and we have quite a bit in the bank now, which is fantastic. I may even go ahead and think about building a hospital over here or something like that. But yeah, actually, I'm thinking about doing some kind of college over here, so we'll see. But either way, I want to develop this whole area. You know, this is going to be a suburb. This is going to be kind of a suburb, and there's just a lot of potential on this side of the map that we haven't really tapped into yet. So really looking forward to that. City services are looking pretty good for now. Can't really complain. Why is this condemned? Why are you condemned? I'm so angry. I'm so angry. I don't know why it does this. That's really frustrating if that's the case. Where are these people coming from? Oh, they're moving in. Excellent. Okay, great. Well, anyway, that'll be fantastic. In the meantime, hope you all have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much for sticking around for this episode. We got quite a lot done. This was a real fun one. And yeah, happy to be back in the game after taking a little bit of a holiday hiatus. So I will see you guys in the next episode. And please vote for your name suggestions or leave a comment if you have a suggestion of your own. Appreciate all you guys. Talk to you in the next episode. In the meantime, have a great week. Peace out.